Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I have started this 12-day flower drawing series and today is all about carnation. I'm going to keep everything simple and easy so that even if you are a beginner, you can follow things easily. So let's start with today's video. So we need a basic guideline. So with the help of pencil, you can create a basic guideline for yourself. I'm going to create two flowers with different steps. So for the first one, you can create a big U shape like this to create the base of the flower, and below to that you can have fine leaf kind of pattern to create sepal. Now for the flower, you can create a round shape. So this is the first way you can create carnation. So you can create a round shape and then smaller round shape inside it, and then one more round shape around it. So this does not has to be very perfect round shape, but something like this you can do. And then you can start creating petals from the center circle. You can create a small element, and then you can create some bigger petals like these covering the inner circle first and then outer circle. And then you can finish this particular flower with the outermost circle. So likewise you can arrange your petals accordingly. We have done these things with the help of pencil. Now we are going to repeat the same thing with the help of pen also, so that you can see it clearly and you can also see it on a repeat mode what we have done. So you can start with the innermost circle. You can create two petals, and then you can start creating multiple petals around it in a different direction like these. So three petals are in this particular direction. I am creating few more covering the center circle. So we have three circles, so we are on the second circle. Now in the outer circle you can create couple of more petals towards outward direction. Because this is carnation, you need to keep the edges little wavy pattern. So keep all the edges little wavy, and something like this you will get at the end, a simple carnation. Now at the base you can create some lines and pattern to make it more darker. I want to create the base of the flower little darker, so I'm going to create parallel lines like these. So this process is called hatching, wherein we create parallel line close to each other. The closer these lines are, the darker shade you will get. And then you can do some cross hatching as well. Cross hatching means creating cross line against those parallel line that you have created. So we are done with this particular flower. We have created a string, little bit tilted, twisted. So these things you can definitely try. Now I'm creating second flower. The approach is little different. You can choose any of them to draw your flower. So again, I have created a oval shape this time, creating the base of the flower, a U kind of shape, and you can start creating petals. So this time we are keeping a little easier approach. So you need to divide the oval shape into two sections. The upper section is quite bigger, the lower section is not that much big. And then you can start creating petals in the lower section towards outward direction. In the upper section you can do a pattern like one after another. So you need to arrange all the petals one after another like these, and we are done. The only difference is we have not arranged it in such a way wherein we are seeing the center part. We are seeing the side of the flower, you can say. Now just trace everything quickly and you will see and understand it better. In the upper circle we have arranged all the petals one after another. I have created one petal in between two, and something like this I have created to cover the oval shape that I have. And then in the lower portion you can create some of the petals little bit towards outward direction. Now you can create the base of the flower and you can do hatching and cross hatching. As I said, hatching means creating parallel line and cross hatching means creating cross line against those parallel line. So something like this we did for these two flowers. And then you can rub all the unwanted pencil mark and you can start creating the rest other element for this particular composition. And we can start creating one more flower, and this one is half bloomed flower, or you can say this one is about to bloom. So we are seeing the base of the flower, the bigger base, the green hue element, and then you can create couple of petals emerging from that particular structure, not that much visible. So something like this you can do to create the flower bird. So I think in every composition you should have at least one flower bird and couple of leaves with different angle, direction and perspective. So I did some cross hatching and hatching to create the base little darker. Now before you will start with the stem, you can start creating the leaf. So I am creating leaf like this. The carnation leaves are simple. You need to create little pointed and fine leaves like these, and you can have different perspective as well. So you can have little twisted pattern, so you can create a small outgrowth from the tip of the leaf, so that you can have little folded and twisted pattern like these, and you can do the same thing throughout the stem that you have. So we have 3 stems, so make sure you have leaves for all those 3 stems that you have. Some of them could be bigger, couple of them could be smaller, so these things you can do. And how beautiful this composition is and how easy it is, right? So let's finish all the leaf first. So take all your time to think where you can keep your leaves and where you can keep a little bigger and smaller. Those things you can definitely try by your own, and you can have your own composition. So once done with the leaf, I'm going through the stem. I did a stem after leaves because in that way we can have little bit criss and cross pattern between the leaf and the stem, and you have more visibility wherein you want to keep your leaves in the front and stems at the back side. So thinking these things would be easier if you start with the leaf first, and then you can finish this with the help of stem. Now we are almost done with the today's video, with the today's composition. Now you can do a little bit of more shading and detailing around the leaf area. As we are only concentrating on drawing, we are not using any watercolor or any color. So I think these things are important to beautify your stuff. Although we are not doing too much, but little bit of line and shading around the leaf area is something you can do. Now I am creating couple of more structure around this particular composition. You can call it foliage, or you can call any outgrowth, just to beautify it, or to have little contrast. So I'm keeping this fine and pointed element dark. So I'm just filling the area with the ink itself and making it dark as compared to the leaf. So this is something I'm doing. It is totally optional. If you want, you can skip this particular part. Now once done with these things, the last thing you can do is little bit of shading and detailing around the petal area. So you can do a couple of lines like these. You can take all your time to do these things precisely, having very soft hand, and you can just create some strings with soft hand like these, and you can have some lines and pattern around the petal area. You can also have some bold lines as well to have some pattern around the petal area. And I'm repeating the same thing for all the petals that I have, and then you can do the same thing for the other flower that you have. In between corner of the petals, you can make area a little darker so that you can see all the petals clearly. So that is something you can do, and just repeat the same thing for this flower as well. And we are done with today's video. Rub all the unwanted pencil mark, and I hope this video is simple and easy to follow. Please do let me know if you have any kind of feedback for me, and thank you so much for watching. See you all in the next video.